How did you get the part of being a warbler? Was it like
Um,
a process?
I got a phone call from my friend Tim Davis, who is a vocal contractor on the show, and so he had asked the question, do you want to be a warbler? And I didn't know what it was, and no one really did at the time because it was, I guess it was in talks or something was going on, and they hadn't really even aired the Teenage Dream episode yet. So I had no clue what a warbler was. So I was like, sure, that sounds great to me. And he said, okay, well, he goes, they picked your photo. And basically how it happened was he showed them my headshot, and they chose it. And then I came in for rehearsals, and the rest is history. That's how it kind of happened. So I was kind of picked out of a bunch, I guess. But it was a really cool process for me just because I admire Ryan Murphy's work so much that, to find out that he actually had chosen my headshot was just, it was, I guess as all the fans would like to say, it was a fangirl moment. I don't know what that's kind of what it was for me, though.
Fangirl!
So. Yeah, that's kind of what happened for me.
What's it like working closely with Darren Criss and Chris Culver?
Darren is hysterical. He's your typical funny guy. He's so much fun to hang out with, and he's so down to earth, and, you expect someone who is thrown into something so fast and into such a huge show so fast to, you don't really expect it, but I guess, hearing what everyone else has to say, you kind of think that maybe they'll have a little bit of an attitude or whatever. None of that there. None of it. And it blows my mind. He's such a humble guy, such a talented actor, and I love working with him. And I definitely see more of Darren than I do of Chris probably, but Chris, what I have seen of Chris, he is so funny. Like it's almost next to impossible to get work done when you're on set with him because he'll run around and he'll make jokes or it's just you kind of want to bust up into laughter when you're on set. So both of them are such a treat to work with. So they're awesome.
And when you record the songs, they're like a lot of parts to it. Could you tell me? I'm a singer, so I've always been really curious as to do you do it all together, the recordings, or do you 5 weeks?
We actually don't record, which a lot of people didn't know, and I'm hoping I can say this. Forgive me, Brian Murphy, if I can't, but I think it's pretty common knowledge now. The Tufts University Beelzebubs, they're an all-male a cappella group, and they record all the music. All of the Warblers are singers, which is, it's kind of ironic, but we all sing, we all act, and we all dance pretty much. So we're dying to get in and record our own stuff. We've been saying.
It's not actually your voices on it?
No, yeah, it's not our voices. We wish, because we are all singers and we're all really talented singers. I don't want to sound like I'm conceited, but I'm speaking more of the other guys. They're all so talented, and we would all love to get in and record ourselves. But yeah, it's not us. It's the Tufts University Beelzebub. So props to them because they are so tight on their harmonies and everything.
Yeah. What's been your favorite episode to film, and what's been your... Oh, I was about to ask what's been your favorite song to sing, but I guess what's been your favorite song to perform?
To perform? My favorite episode to film probably wasn't when I was a warbler, actually. It was when I was doing extra work, and that was the Lady Gaga episode. I think just because all of the amazing costumes and the music and the feeling around set, everyone was so excited because they got the rights to the Lady Gaga music, and it was like you walked on set and it was a whole different air. And it was amazing. You felt really something special was happening. So that was my favorite episode to film. But my favorite song that the Warblers have performed, I would have to say Hey Soul Sister, just because it was the first one that I was a part of. Mm-hmm. So, and it's got that magic behind it for me. It was the first time I was cast in something bigger than doing extra work, and it was at the sectionals episode, so I was on stage in front of a bunch of fans and in front of, or at the time, I guess, fans of just the show, not the Warblers, but and in front of all the extras that I used to work with. So it was kind of a crowning moment for me, so I'll never forget that. So Hey Soul Sister is definitely my favorite.
Cool. Do you have any other projects you're working on, or is it just Glee right now?
Just Glee right now. I've been auditioning. I just had an audition for a movie today, which was awesome. So fingers crossed for that. But other than that, yeah, we've been working on Glee, and that's pretty much been where I've stayed for a little while. So.
Mm-hmm. What can we expect from the Warblers next?
What can you expect from us? Well, honestly, I'd love to give you an answer, but we don't even know. I think we're all hoping that we get to go on tour. Nothing's been set in stone yet. There's been a lot of rumors flying around, and some from the cast and some from different publications, but I don't know. No one really knows for sure yet what's going to happen. But obviously, if that was offered to me, I would take it in a heartbeat, because I just think that'd be the experience of a lifetime. But as far as filming goes, I'm not sure. We heard at the Paley Fest, Ryan Murphy was mentioning that we might possibly be performing at McKinley's prom, which would be awesome. I'd come back for that, obviously. And yeah, so far I think those are the only two things that are a possibility in the Warblers' future.
Well, if you could decide what happens to the Warblers, what would it be?
Well, if I had it my way, I would probably keep us on through season 3, possibly into season 4, as a, I think it'd be awesome to kind of create this super group with the Warblers and the New Directions, and kind of, because the Warblers and the New Directions have been friendly through all of season 2 practically. You know, it's never really been about competition for them. It's more been about celebrating everybody's, exactly, it's been about celebrating everybody's unique abilities, and the fact that we had Kurt over with us, and so it was kind of like we had a piece of them and we respected that. And so I think it's nice to see how buddy we've become with that group, and I think it'd be really cool to explore that a little more in season 3. So if I had my way, that's how it would go. But we'll see what happens in season 3.
Who are your inspirations, either musically or?
Oh my gosh, there's quite a few. I really look up to, my number one inspiration is my mom, just because she is such a rock solid person, and when I say that, I mean she is someone who came from, she had a real rough background and everything, and she really was able to come out of that, and she, I respect her so much for being able to do that, and 24/7, this woman lifts me up all the time. She's like, you know what I mean? Like, she is always like praising me and giving me positive feedback and everything like that. And so I really don't think I'd be where I am today without her. So she's definitely my number one inspiration. But as far as like in the industry, I think, like I said, Ryan Murphy, big inspiration. I know that sounds like I'm just sucking up, but it's not true. Ryan Murphy is a huge inspiration. And honestly, and this is going to sound, I'm going to try to say this, but it's going to sound weird. Anyone who is gay or lesbian, transgendered, bisexual, anything like that, anybody who can go into an industry where, yeah, it's accepted, but it's still having a hard time, really rising to the top, and anyone who does rise to the top, I just respect so much, because obviously it holds a special place in my heart. So I think anybody who can defeat any challenges that are in their way and still be able to get to the top, that's just, that, in my eyes, you are an absolute hero. So that's kind of that's what would mold that inspiration for me.
Could you describe, like, what's a normal day like on the Glee set? Like, what goes on when you film?
Day. We get there at about, usually it depends. It can be anywhere between like 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. sometimes. But we'll get there. We'll go into our trailers, wait for them to knock on the doors. Then we'll go out, and we will. They'll tell us what our day's like. We'll go back in, get dressed probably into our lovely Warbler costumes, and then we will go to the hair and makeup trailer, get all that stuff done. Then we're usually shuttled off in some kind of van to the location that we're filming at. And then it's a lot of hurry up and wait, which is kind of what the whole business is about anyway. But then we go and shoot our scenes, and we sometimes they'll use some of us, and sometimes they won't, just because it depends on where the camera is being angled. And then there's a lot of eating that goes on set, because Glee has the best crafty. I think that's what I miss the most about it right now. I'm missing having those bagels on set. So good. But anyway, sidetrack, Dominic. Don't think about food. Anyway, there's a lot of eating that goes on. There's a lot of laughing, a lot of joking. Because like I've said before, it's literally like working with 15 brothers. It's like working with family now. You know what I mean? We're all really close, and we support each other in whatever anybody does, and we try to make it out to everybody's events. And So yeah, and then once we're done filming, we come back, sign out, and that's the day, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for aspiring musicians or actors or actresses?
My biggest advice that I can give to anybody is perseverance is so key in this industry. It really is. And I mean, I'm not any veteran to the industry or anything. You know, I'm someone who was blessed enough to get a door open for me. But seriously, persevere through anything. Like, if you think that you had, like, even if you had 100 bad auditions, that next one could be what starts your career for you. So I feel like you need to, you really truthfully need to persevere, and also stay true to who you are. Don't let the outside world influence you in any way, because the fact that you are who you are makes you special, and that's what makes you so unique to whoever may be casting you or people looking at you. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, if I had let the outside world tell me, oh, well, you're too heavy, then I would not have gotten cast as Trent, I don't think, because literally the part called for the round face warbler. And I have a round face, and I learned that was something I needed to celebrate as opposed to, put down about myself. So really stick with who you are and persevere through anything, because honestly, it just takes those two things, if you ask me.
Very good advice. How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
In 3 words, you said?
Yeah.
3 words. Oh goodness. Let's see. Funny. Scatterbrained sometimes, and blessed. Those are the 3 words I'd have to use.
So, can you just go over for the people watching, like, I know you're on Twitter. Do you have like a website or a Facebook fan page or any of that?
There is a Facebook fan page. If you just type in Dominic Barnes, I think it's a picture of me and the Warblers. And then I obviously have my Twitter, which is at Dominic M. Barnes. But no website yet. I need to put one up, but no website yet. Maybe in the works. Stay tuned.
Okay. So follow him on Twitter and go.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's about wraps it up. I mean, other than, thank you to all the fans for watching, and thank you for making the Warblers and myself what we are today. And, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with me. I appreciate it.